if you choose to be happy, even if you don't know how it is, choose to forgive. By the way, like that goes to the beginning of this whole thing, is that forgiveness does not mean the person's right or wrong, or they're good or bad. Forgiveness literally means to loosen or to untie, as it was meant 2,000 years ago when they used the word forgiveness. That's what it means. To let go. You look it up in the dictionary. It means to let go. That's all it means. It has nothing to do with anybody being right or wrong. It just means to let go. And so when you let go of wanting to be right, you let go of how things were, or how you perceive them to be now, and see what they could be. Everything can be different. Letting go is important. And so there are several reasons. Number one reason I'm interested in it personally is peace. My peace is the most important thing, period. So when I do whatever I can to protect my peace, it means whatever it takes, and that means to let go or forgive someone. By George, that's what I'm going to do. So the reason, so it's emotionally, it's helpful to to forgive mentally, because anger is, well, of course, it's poisonous. It forms resentment, bitterness, anger. That keeps you from being happy and at peace, and it keeps you from having relationships, not just romantic, but friendship. I've seen people hold back, countless people hold back a lovely life that they will not allow themselves to have because they're still angry at their mother or father or whatever. So another one is their physical body. I mean, the amount of, we were talking about the cortisol last time, the word I mispronounced. But the cortisol levels from anger and resentment is ridiculously high. So why do we feed that to ourselves? It's like we're drinking our own poison. That Annie Lemmet quote, when we hold resentment against someone, it's like we're drinking rat poison expecting the other person to die. So we have to do the letting go. Most of the time, the other people, they're interested in their own world. They're not even interested. They may have even forgotten what they did. They may not even remember. It means nothing. They've gone on, and we're the one continuing to hold the resentment.
We're the one thinking, I would say this if I had the chance. Yeah.
So this is the story that started it all, just to show you how profound this is.
Okay.
So as we change everyone around us. That's just a given. That's energetically the way it is, vibrationally, and we can feel it, and we can sense it in our own lives. So I had a client maybe 10 years ago who was in her early 40s, successful businesswoman. She had a great marriage, great career, and I thought, whoa, I asked her, so what's going on with you? I was surprised. What does she need to see me for? And she said, well, I'm so thrilled with my marriage. I'm here for preventive maintenance. I don't want to have this marriage turn out bad like my last marriage did. And so I thought, this is great. I mean, I wish all my clients were there for preventive maintenance. I could help them a lot. Anyway, so I said, well, let's go ahead and start. So as she was talking, I heard little bits and pieces, little body language here, words dropped here, words not said here, and I noticed that she had a little resentment against her father from her childhood. What had happened as a child is that he was a poor factory worker raising 3 small children, and he hated his job. He hated his life. I mean, he loved his kids, but he hated having to work. He said, he would get home and he would take out his anger and resentment on the kids, not physically, but verbally. And they all felt like it was their fault. He had to work hard, and he would yell, if I didn't have to work this hard, I could buy something nice. I can't do anything. All I have to do is work. And his big thing was Corvettes. So he said he couldn't even buy anything, let alone a Corvette. That was his big. So notice that word Corvette, and I'll get back to that. So fast forward, and I mentioned to her about the forgiveness process. I said, would you be interested in doing this? She said, no, really, my dad, we get along fine. That was so many years ago, I don't want to bring it up. And that's what I hear all the time. That happened years ago, I don't want to bring it up. Well, actually what we mean about that is we're stuffing it. It hasn't come up. They think it hasn't come up in years, but actually it does. It comes up all the time to be healed. Nothing. Love constantly is flushing us out. So, all right, fine. I didn't want to push her. The second time she comes, and I heard those little indicators again. And she said, really, we're fine. My dad and I have dinner every Sunday. You know, we have a great relationship now. He's in his 60s, everything. She said, I really we don't need to do it. And I said, okay, remember, everything unresolved with your parents comes up in your relationships. You came here because you said you wanted to, to keep this relationship with your new husband going.
Right.
She said, really? No, we're fine. The third time she comes, she and her husband, that she loved so much, had started having trouble. And I said, okay, you ready? She'd go, all right, I'll do it. So she did it, and this process takes a week. So she finished on Friday, and Monday morning, her mother calls her, and she said, I don't know what's come over your father. He's just called and ordered a brand new red Corvette.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, he didn't know she was doing the process. He probably wouldn't have even understood. But energetically, she released him of the guilt that he was feeling from childhood. She just let it go. And when she did that, he felt that let go, and he could have bought the Corvette, many years ago. Once the kids were gone, he started. But anyway, so that just shows you the power that we have over others. So when we do it for us, now I'm not saying for people to do it for the other person, but other people benefit. Even her son, her 16-year-old son, this client I'm referring to, started eating dinner with them at the table because her relationships with men, period, improved. Yeah.
Wow. Now, was the mother happy about the Corvette?
Oh.
So that's when you got the aha to start just...
To write the book, yeah. Now, I personally have had, oh my gosh, I've had personal stories. My daughter, I was not the woman in my early 20s when I was a young mother that I am now. One of the reasons we go into work such as this is to help heal ourselves, right?
Right.
Well, that's what I did, and I was out on the outset to heal myself, and as I did that, I became a better mother. But in my early years, I was not so much a good mother, and my daughter had disowned me, and I didn't hear from her for 10 years. 10 years. Nothing I could do. I read letters, came back unopened, packages, nothing.
Wow.
All I could do was pray every day, and knowing at some day she would come back. So I get a call from her one night, and she had the final stage of this forgiveness process. You can or don't have to, but I chose in this case to do it. You can write a completion letter to this person and send it. I did. And 9 months later, 9 months after, I wrote it down in my address book, the date, time. Here I'm on the phone with her, and she called me after 10 years.
Wow.
Because of this forgiveness process. So there's that one. That's me personally.
That's powerful.
I know. On myself, I've done maybe 7 on me over the years. The first one I did for me as a mom, or another time I may have done one on how I mismanaged money in my 30s, or did this or did that. So over time, I've done myself 7 times. I did my father 3. I did my mother 5. So I did another sister 2 times. So usually the first time we do it, it's big. But each time we do it, we can do little specific things, over and over again. So let's see, what else can I say about it? We were talking about prosperity before. I did a chapter on how does prosperity and forgiveness work together. Okay? How it works is oftentimes we adopt the pattern that our family had about money and prosperity and wealthy people or whatever.
Right.
We adopt that pattern from them without even knowing, and because 85% of our subconscious is 85% of our mind is subconscious, it really is important for us to see what's down there. And one of the things is the prosperity thinking that came from our family.